Redefining values. Every day, our lives are related to three relationships: with the material world around us, with others, and with God. The world around us is our home, our work, our clothes, our money, our vehicles. The next relationship is that every day we have to contact this person or that person, rely on people near and far. There is not a day that our lives are not related to others, family members, friends, relatives, and strangers. And the last relationship is the concerns about peace, happiness, conscience, a supernatural world. That is, the relationship with God. There is no way to avoid these three relationships. To live is to struggle within those constraints. Daily story. That night, we went to the market. I was standing with my husband, waiting to load the car. While backing up, my sister did not see the temple pillar in the parking lot. What should not have happened had happened. The car jerked backwards and hit the foot of the electric pole, breaking the signal light and denting a long part. The car seemed newly bought. How painful. She got out of the car, confused. Perhaps she also knew what was about to happen when she looked at him. The beautiful car had not yet been enjoyed, but now it was dented. He put the bag of things on the ground and said harsh words to her. Then, as if suddenly realizing I was a guest, he tried to hold back his emotions. Everyone was shy. It was a stuffy, unhappy afternoon. If we calm down for a moment and look back, everyone is like that. Every family is like that. And sometimes it happens every day. How do we react when the CD is scratched? What do we say to our child when he breaks a crystal glass? There are so many similar things. It makes us angry, irritable, unhappy. It paints a day of life with strange gray colors that make us bitter. Of course, education to avoid mistakes is necessary. But the problem is that we often rely on that educational reason to blame the offender. The proof is that we always regret when we lose an object. The regret makes us feel guilty, but the educational factor cannot make us feel guilty. We blame the offender, and sometimes we do not forgive ourselves if we are the ones who caused it. That loss makes us lose pleasure. Having pleasure and pleasure is not happiness. Happiness is an inner fullness. Pleasure and pleasure are a fullness of feeling. As emotions, they are loud and intense. Therefore, when an unexpected event happens, we get angry and cannot control ourselves. The proof is that there are times when we overreact and then regret. Why does that happen?
Initial creation. God created the material world and created man. So there must be a relationship between material and human. To examine these relationships, let us look at how God created them. 1. Creation of the universe. To create the universe, God only used light, and when there were plants, the plants would be green. The entire mysterious and vast world, He only used words to create it. How incredibly simple. Genesis 1:1-25. 2. creation of man. To create man, the Bible says, "Let us make man in our image." Having said that, there was still no man. God took one more step and molded him from the ground. After 2 stages, man was still not complete. The ground was bare. Man was an inanimate object. Then he had to breathe, and the block of ground became a man. Genesis 2:7. Thus, with a simple look, we can see that in order to create the universe, God did not have to work as hard as to create humans. God created humans much more elaborately and complicatedly than the universe. After the universe was formed, from ancient times until now, the 4 seasons have come and gone. The moon rises for the rice fields to worship. The afternoon wind and the night dew leisurely allow the moist soil to sprout green. The universe changes over millions of centuries, remaining beautiful forever. Butterflies fly and clouds bask in the sun. God is pleased with the work of creation. The universe is a prayer, a shadow of God's goodness. Over time, the sea does not miss its appointment. The stars at night are not indifferent. The universe continues to be beautiful forever. In the work of creation, only humans have broken God's will. Adam and Eve sinned. They played the wrong tune. Let the rhythm go off the scale. Heaven became a sin. In the relationship with humans, we see that God leads us into 3 stages of relationship. 1. Creation. When God created Adam, he breathed into the earth. This is an image of God giving man a part of his life. Unlike the universe, which is only created outside of him, man has an intimate relationship with God, which is a part of his breath, a part of his life. As the Bible says, "Let us make man in our image according to our likeness." Genesis 1:26. 2. Redemption. After creating man, God did not rest because man sinned. The next work is redemption. Recreating man from the sentence of death by the cross on the hill of death shows us a deeper connection. In the Garden of Eden, God only gave a part of his breath into the earth of Adam, but on the hill of death he died. That is, he did not give a part, but gave all of his breath. And bowing his head, he gave up his spirit. John 19:30. He gave until his last breath, until he could no longer breathe, until the end of the relationship. 3. Sanctification. The relationship between man and God did not end at the cross in Jerusalem. After giving up his last breath, God established the Eucharist to be with man. And forever we have God with us, as the Old Testament announced. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us. Isaiah 7:14. Every time we celebrate Mass, every time we pass by the church, it is a profound reminder of the story related from the ancient and misty Garden of Eden. Considering this, we see that the relationship between man and God is so special. Compared to the universe, it is as if God has forgotten, but with man, he is always worried. The psalmist's words are profound. "What is man that you are mindful of him, and the Son of Man that you care for him?" Psalm 8:5. He did not create man from nothing, but with his life. Not a part of his breath, but the whole man with death. Not a phase that is over, but continues forever. Therefore, Man is precious. Man is lovable. Man is too valuable. The relationship between man and the universe. If we compare and give God a choice between man and the universe, he must choose man. On the two scales of choice, man and the universe, the scale of the universe is light. God did not shed his own blood for the universe, but for man. Right in the Garden of Eden, God told man to be master of the universe. Genesis 1:26. That means the universe was created for man. If you compare all the gold and silver of Tokyo to America, it is nothing. But comparing the money of America to the earth is too small. But this earth is nothing compared to the vast universe. Yet between those treasures and a soul, you still choose the human soul. Dear God, considering the relationship between man and material things, man with each other, man with God, I see that this universe has turned upside down. Today, I value material things more than man. People can humiliate each other for a small amount of money. People cause hatred and division in their families and parishes for a few tiles of gold. Calmly examine carefully. I see that I do not understand myself in the attitudes I use of material things. God told me to be master of wealth, but in reality, wealth has mastered me. Instead of the car to carry me, it is just a means of service, but I am controlled by it with regrets and sorrows. Why is it so strange? Love, dignity, salvation, the pain in the heart of a flesh and blood person are not more precious than a car. Material things do not know joy and sadness, but people have tears. Wealth has no voice, but people know how to sob and feel humiliated. Dear God, if every night I know how to examine myself about these relationships and attitudes in life and redefine my values, my soul will be much freer. I will be in control of material things and not be tormented when I lose something. If everyone in the family sees the relationships with each other and with wealth according to the Bible, the family will know how to live a life based on true values, knowing how to cherish people as hearts that have desires and not forcing people to be under the value of vehicles and houses, as inanimate objects. And with a biblical view of values in human relationships and attitudes towards material things, love will come, peace will descend, the soul will be freer, and life will be more beautiful. Author Nguyen Thuong, S.J.